Now get your ass off that phone, boy, and listen to me, man. You better listen to my snap. Boy, I will pop your head like a goddamn watermelon.
Come on. God damn. Hello, YouTubers. My name is Alton Henry. Staring right there at you. Welcome to Underrated Movies. And today I would like to... Before I even go there, I'm not big on romance movies. Unless it's subgenre with something. I don't want it to be a straight out romance cross-dressed with a subgenre which is mostly romantic comedies. I'm not... They'd be funny, you know. I'm just not a romantic comedy kind of person. But who knows? You know, there could be one that could be very funny that you know, it might surprise me. I mean, I've seen a few. I think that was kind of surprised with it. With the humor, but sometimes I think with the humor they just go overboard with it. But anyway, one of my favorite romantic comedies with a bizarre premise, and it stars ColinFarrell, came out in 2015 or 2016, about a man just recently divorced, goes to this clinic set in the future where he has 45 days to find a mate, and if he doesn't find one, he's going to turn into an animal, which he specifically chose is the Lobster, which I think is a very underrated, very original concept about loneliness and finding a compatible romantic partner in life, and how many partners or how many people try to find the right one, and what people are going to go through or how far they're going to go through to find that perfect partner. And, sometimes also the movie also deals with people who accept their idea of being alone, being independent, not relying on anybody. And the movie doesn't really make that as a bad thing. You could be in a relationship or you could be alone. And people who in the movie, in order to be alone, no relationship, you have to break out of the facility that you're sent to. Because if you don't, you're going to get captured, given less days to try to find a mate. If not, they're just going to turn you into an animal. So there's this society called the Loners, I think, and they urge you not to find a partner and wreak havoc around the city, which is a very, very unique resistance, or not being tied down to someone else's rules in a relationship, or just compromising. You don't have to compromise in that sense. The movie really examines that, and I think the movie really has a interesting and bizarre way of exploring its themes. With ColinFarrell, who gained weight for the film, is really good in this. This is probably one of his, I want to say his most comedic side, but his most soft, kind of like comedic side. I mean, the movie's dark, so when certain things happen in the movie, it's pretty like, wow, you didn't expect that. And the movie goes somewhere which I never totally expected, where I couldn't even predict how the movie was going to end. Didn't know how it was going to end. I was curious how it was going to end, and how it ends ambiguously. It ends with the question, how far are you willing to go to be compatible with a person? Are you willing to sacrifice some of traits of yourself in order to feel compatible, or feel like you can relate to the person that you want to spend for the rest of your life? And the movie really puts that question, really like pushes on that question. Are you willing to? Are you really going to take that chance to sacrifice part of yourself to have a relationship with someone? That's what I really, really found intriguing, because it's true, you have to sacrifice a part of yourself in order to have a relationship. And I do believe that's also the case. Compromising, overlap, figuring out, everybody else, each other's interests or hobbies, traits, whatever. You also might have to, go through a couple people to figure out who you're compatible with. And some people like to try to cheat the system. There's a character named Ben Whishaw. Well, the actor is Ben Whishaw. He's been in Claw Atlas. He tries to cheat the system by trying to be compatible with one girl, which he has no relation to her whatsoever. He doesn't find her interesting or anything. He just wants to try to beat the system and get out of there. So the movie also kind of puts in some people won't actually fall in love with the person that they're with. They'll try to deceive them just to get what they want, or being used. The movie really does a pretty good job in exploring that as well. It does feel a little bit slow, clocking in almost 2 hours. It's just, I think it's because of the director's style. Now, I think the issue I have with the film, the movie is dark. The humor doesn't always hit. I mean, it's not like a laugh out loud comedy. If that's what you're looking for, this isn't it. But this is a movie that really explores an idea about relationships. So the humor is there. It's just, it's a very different kind of humor, where I guess some of the things that happens. Well, there's a scene in the movie where back to Ben Wishaw's character, where he tries to make this compatible with this girl, cheating the system by dating this girl who has frequent nosebleeds. So what he does is that he bangs his head against the table multiple times. He bangs his head multiple times against the table, and his nose starts to bleed. And he'll do that constantly just to keep and act up, to try to beat the system and go out with this girl, which he doesn't really like the girl at all. He doesn't care for her. So I thought it was kind of bizarre. And people do bizarre things to try to find a relationship or cheat their way out of the system. The movie is bizarre. They do bizarre things, and it's bizarrely funny in that sense. So I recommend it for that, to give it for that chance. The movie is a little bit slow, so I mean, there were certain parts of the movie where it did drag a bit for me, where it felt like the movie was longer than what it should have already felt. Which it felt like the movie's about like 2 hours. It felt like 2.5 to me, and I feel like they could have trimmed it down at least 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm one who likes to kind of push on. The longer the movie, the better it's gonna get. They could have trimmed it down maybe just 10 to 15 minutes out of it. But I really recommend this film. John C. Reilly's in this. The French actress, I can't even pronounce her name yet. She was in the latest James Bond movie. She's in this, and Rachel Weisz, Daniel Craig's wife, is in this as well. Do check this out. This is a very underrated romantic comedy. It's very different compared to other romantic comedies. You do not, if you want something different as a romantic comedy, this is it. Fresh on Rotten Tomato. Go check that crap out. Not crap, it's a good movie. So please check it out. If you like this video, please give it a like. You can follow me on Stardust for more reviews that I post frequently on through AJ Film Guy on Stardust. And I'll see you in my next video.